In this video, I spent 100 days in Stardew Valley multiplayer. As a complete noob, I have no idea what I'm doing. Our goals are to make at least 500,000 coins, get decent equipment, and try to complete most of the community center. Without further ado, let's begin with day 1. The first day began like how I'd assume any other Stardew Valley playthrough begins, by creating a name and a favorite thing, then designing my character to look like a popular TV show character. We started our day in Stardew Valley by receiving 15 parsnip seeds from Mayor Lewis. Thank you, Mayor Lewis. We then completed some chores around the farm, including chopping some trees, weeding some weeds, and meeting Linus. Hi, Linus. We then got our first quest, which was to grow a parsnip, so that's what we started doing. Here's our parsnip farm. I hope you like it. After the farm was done, I crafted a chest to store all of our goodies, and then we went to bed, concluding the first day. The second day began with us watering our plants, which is something that's gonna happen every day up until winter. Then I proceeded to ball out at Pierre's by buying 750 coins worth of potatoes. These were all the coins that we had. We are now broke. Earlier in the day, Ella pointed out a quest to talk to everyone in the town. We didn't end up talking to all 28 town members up until a couple days later, but I believe the 100 points with everyone in the town was worth it. We then hurried back to the farm to plant our cornucopia of potatoes and check our mailboxes to see spam mail from Pierre and Willie. We used the rest of the night to talk to more civilians and put away our goodies. This concludes day 2, and look at that, I leveled up in forging. Day 3 was a rainy one, so no need to water our plants. Today was also the first day that I discovered the community center. I didn't realize how important this building would be until later. I also discovered the caves, which were blocked by a couple of rocks. This guy looked like he was getting them out though. When I returned to the farm, I had nothing better to do than mine a bunch of rocks, so I did that. Look, I got some cool geodes. After I was done with mining rocks, we went to bed, and whoop-de-doo, it's day 4. Today it wasn't raining, so we had to actually water our plants, and look at them, they're growing up. I also discovered digging through trash today, which is pretty cool. Visiting the blacksmith today was top priority, because yesterday the geodes whispered in my ear that the blacksmith would be able to crack them open. Crazy enough, those whispers turned out to be true. He gave me 2 items, and they directly went to this guy, who has his cool library full of cool things. I also spent some time greeting new people. I ended up greeting 25 out of the 28 people. These last 3 were proven to be difficult, but I'll find them eventually, whether they like it or not. I spent the rest of the day cleaning up the farmland before going to bed, putting day 4 to a close. Our first plants were fully grown on day 5. Look at how cool that is. It was also raining today, so no need to water our plants. Then I visited the mines. Whoever they hired to clear the rocks did a really good job. Now entering the cave, this cool guy gave me a cool sword. Look at this cool sword. I went 1 level down in the caves because I wanted to save the adventure for another day. Returning to my farm, I planted the cauliflower that Gunther gave me as a reward for giving him cool things. After planting all the cauliflower, we went to bed, making day 5 not alive. Day 6 started out with us watering our plants, and then remember that adventure I was talking about yesterday? Well, that's gonna happen today, woo! So we managed to get down to level 11 in the mine. That's pretty impressive, right? But then I died to a fly. Fear not, because Linus was there to save the day. However, his attempt was fruitless because I passed out on the way home. Look, level 1 mining. Day 7, 1 week in. Today started with Clint giving me the recipe for a furnace. How cool. I then brought over 1 geode to Clint, and then donated some stuff to the museum. Look at how cool our museum's looking. Look at that. We also went to the mines again today, getting down to level 16 before heading home. I also hit level 1 combat. Days 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 were virtually the same thing, just going to caves over and over again. And after all that mining, here's the haul. I know, right? Pretty cool. But it's day 13 of spring, so we have an egg hunt to get to. Ella ended up winning this egg hunt by 4 eggs, cause she's a sweat. For being the winner though, she was awarded a straw hat, which she gave to me, so I can look even more like this fictional character. Day 14 started out with us giving stuff to the museum guy, and then heading down to level 42 in the mines. That was all that really happened on day 14. Day 15 started out with a... Oh wait, I forgot to mention, we have a silo now. How cool is that? With this new silo, we can actually hoe the grass without worrying about wasting precious hay. This would be important because hay costs a lot of money, and getting it for free like this is really cool. Just make sure to leave a little bit of grass left so it could spread later on. I also discovered fishing today. I didn't realize that fishing in your own pond really didn't give you much, but it didn't take me long to realize that. Ella also starts the construction for our coop today and places it right next to the silo. Look at that. I chopped a lot of trees on day 16. A lot of trees. I spent the whole day doing that. I also discovered that when you sit in your bed for a little bit, your energy replenishes really fast. And then I chopped down some more trees. This was my tree haul for the day. I know, right? Pretty impressive. Day 17 was another go to the mines day and cut down some trees day. Definitely not the longest of days, but still notable. On day 18, my cauliflower that I had planted a long time ago finally grew. But more importantly, our chicken coop was done, and it was time to get ourselves 4 chickens. I was allowed to name 2 out of the 4 chickens, and obviously Ella named the other 2. I don't know if I'm allowed to show what Ella named her chickens, but I'm just gonna play it safe. I also donated some more stuff to the museum and was rewarded with a standing geode and some starfruit seeds. On day 19, we spent the rest of our money on parsnip seeds. Look at how many parsnips we have. I also spent 300 wood on unlocking this little beach area. Ella had previously told me that there was nothing in here, and she was right. Day 20 started out with us watering our oh so many plants. We also cleaned up the farm a little bit and put a fence outside the chicken coop so the chickens could roam around. Look at them go. Ella also invested some of our materials into mayo machines so we can profit off of these cute little things. This was also another gather wood day. Day 21 was another mine day. We got down to level 52 in the mines. On day 22, I gave all of our cave findings to Gunther, but more importantly, our chickens grew up. Look at our big old chickens. They were small like a couple days ago. I don't really care about blurring the chickens' names anymore because judging how far you got into this video, you're probably old enough. On day 23, the parsnips that we planted earlier are ready, and looking at my past self sell this golden one, I'm really I'm disappointed. You'll see why later. But other than that, it was another mine day. We got down to level 59 today. Day 24 was flower dance day. And look at us dance around. Yeah, we're dancing. Day 25 started out with me collecting the mayo that we forgot to collect the previous night. We also got the first backpack upgrade from Pierre today. The backpack upgrade is crucial if you want to be awesome like me. I also finally took a good look at the community center, and I realized how important it was today. The community center was the key to unlocking most of the things in this game, such as a quarry, which is exactly what you'd expect, a greenhouse that allows you to plant crops regardless of the season. It also unlocks panning, mine carts, which allow for quick travel, and friend points. It also unlocks the bus to the Calico Desert, which houses more difficult mines with much better resources. Now getting this, the minecart, and the greenhouse are our top priorities. You might be asking, well hey, GrayPans, how exactly do you unlock these things in the community center? Well, I'm glad you asked. See, there's this thing called bundles, and each one of these bundles gives you different rewards, and this picture is how you unlock all of these bundles. You put certain items into certain bundles, and it just works out, and that's how you unlock stuff. Quick and easy. Enough explaining, because it's time for day 26. Day 26 was an easy one. We spent the entire day chopping some trees. Day 27 was focused on trying to get enough stone so that we could purchase the barn so that we could have some cows. I came home with 56 stone today. It was day 28 today, the last day of spring. Ella and I decided to spend the day fishing, and now we're 28 days in, putting spring to a close. The first day of summer was today. I spent this day planting melons and then going to the community center to put whatever I had into the bundles. We then spent the rest of the day fishing. Day 30 rolled around and Willie was advertising his new fishing rod, and of course I had to go buy it. Ugh. Alright, so day 30 I spent the whole day fishing with my old fishing rod. I also put one clam and one tilapia into the community center. The morning of day 31 was spent watering our plants, and I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention that the barn was built now. I don't know when that happened or how that happened, but that's here. We also spent the rest of the day in the mines, getting down to level 57. Day 32 was a rainy one. We spent days 32 and 33 in the mines, getting down to level 78. I was in charge of taking care of the chickens on day 34. I also put a winter root and a frozen tear inside the community center. We then spent the rest of the day fishing. We spent days 35, 36, 37, and 38 on fishing. However, day 37 was an important day because we finally got that fiberglass rod that Willie was selling earlier, and 38 was important because I finally got level 5 fishing. This means I get to pick between being a fisher, which make fish worth 25% more, or being a trapper, which reduce the resources required to craft a crab pot. After a long while of thinking, I chose trapper, because in the long run, I really wasn't going to be making any money from fishing anyway. Day 39 was the potluck event, which means that both of us got to pick an ingredient to put into the potluck, and the governor gets to taste it. I put an iridium bullhead in, and Ella put a gold star carp in. The governor didn't seem to like it too much. Day 40 consisted of us watering our plants, taking care of our chickens, and fishing. Day 41 was basically the same thing, except our melons were ready, and there was no point in watering our plants because it was raining outside. Not only was I in charge of the chickens on day 42, but I also helped pick the blueberries to sell to this mysterious crate. I also paid tribute to the community center by offering them a red snapper. I spent the rest of today by fishing and gathering wood. Ella started work on our fish pond on day 43. We wanted sturgeon in our fish pond, so that was the next thing on our agenda. But first, we needed to find enough copper so I could upgrade to the copper axe. So I spent most of today mining. I also donated a pufferfish to the community center. The fish pond was finished on day 44, and now it was time to put the sturgeon in. Yeah, sturgeon. We spent the rest of the day watering our plants and getting down to level 87 in the mines. Yeah. I started my upgrade to my steel axe on day 45, and then I fished for the rest of the day. On day 46, I donated donated a mussel and a crayfish to the community center and completed the crab pot bundle. I then fished for the rest of the day, catching 3 sturgeons. I took care of all the animals on day 47. I also picked up my steel pickaxe from Clint. I also crafted a recycler and a tapper so I can harvest cool things from these trees. The sturgeons started begging for stuff on day 48. They seemed to have an elegant taste because they wanted diamonds. Luckily, we had a diamond just laying around, so into the pond you go. Look at how happy that thing is. Then, because there was space, I added 2 more sturgeons. Yippee! After putting all the sturgeons in the pond, we got down to level 91 in the mines. I also got level 5 mining today, which means I get to pick between being a miner, which grants 1+ orb per vein, or being a geologist, which grants a chance for gems to appear in pairs. I chose being a miner, because I like ores more than I like gems, so it just made sense. On day 49, I mined some rocks and I chopped some trees. I also tried to sort out our chests today. Hey, look at that, it's day 50 today. We're halfway there. Today, I gathered the blueberries, took care of the cows, and got down to level 100 in the mines. This conveniently granted us a star drop, which weirdly reminded me of feet gunk. Level 100 in the mines also granted a lava pool, which if you were lucky enough, you could catch a rare fish. We tried to catch it, however the attempt was fruitless. I also hit level 5 farming, which meant I get to pick between being a rancher, which makes animal products worth 20% more, or being a tiller, which makes crops worth 10% more. I went with being a rancher because Ella went with being a tiller. So now I'm in charge of animal products while she's in charge of crops. Day 51 was a rainy one, so no need to water our plants. However, we still needed to take care of our animals. We also decided to go back to the mine and try to fish up that lava eel. However, Ella and I got bored really quick and we decided to just mine for the rest of the day. We got down to level 110 in the mines, unlocking these cool space boots. Day 52 was a special day because our sturgeon made its first roe, or eggs, whatever you want to call it. They also started begging for maple syrup today. I don't know why or what they're going to use it for. I think it's pretty safe to assume that they might eat it or something. Another reason for this day being super special is because we got down to the lowest level of the mines today, level 120, unlocking the skull key. Very cool. I spent day 53 organizing our farm and buying the stone stepping path from Robin. This would later help us make our farm look better, at least in my opinion. On day 54, I gathered blueberries and I also tried to accommodate for a new tree farm by using the new stone paths. Look at this tree farm. We got maple, oak, pine, and even up here we got mahogany. This tree farm is meant to produce the resources that trees give you when you attach a tapper to them. Like from the maple tree we get maple syrup, and from the oak tree we get oak resin, and from the pine tree we get pine tar. These are all really important resources, but what I was really after was the maple syrup so that we could feed our precious sturgeons. Day 55 was a pretty cool day. I took whatever geodes we had and then went to Clint to get them processed. I then donated whatever I could to the museum. I also donated 3 things to the community center, which consisted of large milk, a red mushroom, and aquamarine. Day 56 was the last day of summer. I spent most of today chopping some trees, but at the end of the day was the dance of the Moonlight Jelly event. Look at all these jellyfishes. Jellyfish eye. Jellyfish. There you go. Look at this cool green one. Yeah, it's green, it's different. And the end of this event marked the beginning of the next season. Day 57, and also the first day of fall. Because the new season has arrived, all of our old plants died, so we went to go get new ones. We got 1 eggplant, 1 yam, and a bunch of cranberries because that was the main money-making plant. Then it was time to hoe some more farmland and plant the rest of our crops. Farm's getting pretty big. Yeah. Then it was time to water the rest of our plants. And after we were done watering our plants, I went to the community center and donated a large egg, blackberry, and hay. Day 58 was a rainy one, thank God, because we have so many crops and now I don't need to water them. Then I went to the community center and donated hazelnut, wood, stone, hardwood, and more wood, which completed the construction bundle. Day 59 was spent taking care of our animals and watering our oh so many plants. I then stopped by at the community center to donate 1 pomegranate, completing the artisan bundle. I also got this cool keg thing and I put a star fruit in it. On day 60, I collected my aged roe. Thank you, sturgeons. Then I planted my pumpkins and took care of my animals. I also went down to the mines. On day 61, I sorted out the chests and then took care of the animals. Day 62 was an important day because we got a cake from our mom, but more importantly, our maple syrup was ready. That means it was time to feed our hungry sturgeon. It was raining on day 63, which was good because we got tired of watering our plants. Oh, and did I mention that Ella made cheese presses so that we could put all our milk that we got to good use. The cheese presses would allow for the milk to become cheese. Cheese makes more money than milk, so of course I'd rather sell the cheese. On day 64, our cranberries were ready for harvest, but more importantly, the cheese was done. I only harvested 2 cranberries, while Ella harvested the rest, because she wanted all the farming XP to herself. Then I made some sprinklers and placed down 7 of them before I passed out in the garden. Day 65 was raining, which would usually be a good thing, but today I kinda wanted to test out the sprinklers, but that's fine. I also bought the deluxe backpack today, which increased our bag size by a lot. This was also the final backpack upgrade. I also made and placed 10 more sprinklers today, more than doubling our previous amount. On day 66, I donated a purple mushroom and a frozen geo to the community center. That was really all we did on day 66. On day 67, my eggplant and yam were ready to harvest, although apparently there was already an eggplant in the community center, so I only really needed the yam. On day 68, Ella and I decided to go to the Calico Desert, and we went straight for the skull mines, and we got all the way down to level 11. On day 69, we went back to the skull caves, however, we both died on level 18. We also lost a couple things, but it was fine. Day 70 was dedicated to replacing all these old, stinky fences with new hardwood fences. These fences would last way longer than these old, stinky ones, and we wouldn't have to replace them. Day 71 was all dedicated to fishing, because there was one fish that we needed in the community center, and I forget which one, but it was one of them. It was day 72, and also the date for the Stardew Valley Fair. The fair has games, and more games, and you also put stuff on a table, and people will look at your stuff. We were going to leave the event early, but then we realized that there was a star drop that cost 2k stars or whatever. Day 73 was spent adjusting the tree farm. Yeah, look at how adjusted it is. On day 74, the cranberries were ready to harvest. I also got my gold pickaxe back from Clint. On day 75, we attempted to go back to the Skull Caverns, but then we died on level 2. On day 76, we crafted more quality sprinklers and more lightning rods so you can get more batteries. Batteries are so yummy, tasty. Yummy, tasty. On day 77, our delicious snacks were ready to harvest. And the honey was ready to harvest too, I guess. On day 78, we unlocked panning because Ella finished the fish tank bundles. Day 79 was mostly spent gathering wood. Look at all my wood. Day 80 was a great day because we're getting 6 more animals to take captive. We're getting 2 more chickens and 4 ducks. These poor things were granted terrible names thanks to us. Man, oh man. Day 81 was kind of a funny day because we discovered how to dupe items. Now see, if we make a cheese in the cheese press, for example, and Ella and I both grab the cheese at the same exact time, we both get a piece of cheese. And it's real too, like we can sell them and everything. So it literally just doubles our cheese. However, on day 82, we figured out that it wasn't just items we could dupe, it was placeable things too. I don't want to say we abused it, but yeah, we kind of only had 1 keg originally, but I think that's a little bit more than 1. It's day 83 today, and you know when I get out of the door with a keg in my hand? It's gonna be a great day. Look at how many kegs we have. Yippee! We also had just enough iridium to make an iridium sprinkler, and let's just say, we only really needed 1. It was also the Spirit's Eve event tonight. It had this cool little maze that Ella showed me around, and at the end of it, we were rewarded with a golden pumpkin. It was day 84 today, as well as the last day of fall. We spent the day picking the cranberries, organizing the farm, and mining. And now it is officially time for the last season of the challenge. Day 85 was spent organizing the rest of the farm. This is actually in real time how fast we organized the farm. I know, we're fast. Day 86 was also spent organizing the farm. And yep, still got it. We're still very fast. Day 87 was also mostly spent organizing the farm. However, Ella also just finished all the crafts room bundles, and later that night, little critters repaired this bridge. We decided to skip day 88 and go right to day 89. What the fuck? Sorry, I got jump scared. I'm not used to seeing these things in real life. The shadows usually stay in my head. On day 90, all of our wine was ripe for the picking. It's picking season. It's day 91 today, and also the day where I showcase my totally not duped crystallarium farm. All of these crystallariums are filled with jades, meaning that about every other day they spit out a jade. This is important because the desert trader sells staircases for jades. However, you can only buy them on Sundays. Staircases can be used to get through the skull caverns fast and easy. We wanted to use all the staircases that we got from the jades on day 100, so we had to be strategic on our jade farm. And I also picked up this golden scythe in the caves near the quarry. Day 92 was spent gathering up resources from the quarry. Look at all the resources. Ella and I spent day 93 fishing, and look at that, I caught a cool looking fish. It's day 94 and a very important day, because now we have more room for new animals. We're getting 4 new goats, and of course they're gonna have terrible names. Yippee! Day 95 was spent mostly mining in the normal caves for rocks. Yummy rock snacks. Day 96 was spent by exploring more of the Calico Desert. I discovered this oasis shop, and there's cool things like seeds and stuff for sale. Seeds. Day 97 was spent practicing for the last day in the Skull Caverns. We got all the way down to level 16 without any staircases. Day 98 was today, and it's also Sunday, conveniently the day that the Desert Trader sells staircases for jades. So that's what I did today. I spent all of our jades on buying staircases. Look at all of our stairs. It was day 99, the last day before the big cave run, and it was also our last chance to practice beforehand. And we managed to make it down to level 29 without any stairs. Day 100, we finally made it. It was time to get our best gear on so we had our best chances in this cave. We planned to be in this cave until we pass out at 2 a.m. And on our last day, we managed to get down to level 77, and the haul was massive. We got a bunch of iridium, but most importantly, we got 3 prismatic shards. And I'm pretty sure these are kind of rare, so that's pretty good. But obviously I can't end the video without using the prismatic shards to acquire the best sword in the game, right? So on day 101, we went back to the Calico Desert to summon the Galaxy Sword. And with that comes the end to this video. While we didn't get to complete the community center or get 500,000 coins, we were very, very close. We still had a lot of fun making this video. This is easily the most time and effort I'd ever put into a video. And if you enjoyed watching it, you should leave a like and maybe even subscribe. Till next time, GrayPans, I'm out.